So this is Shadow of the Tomb Raider running at 100 FPS, high settings, 720p with XeSS enabled, quality setting. There's the computer there. I swapped the RAM, so now it's upgraded RAM, faster RAM, tweaked it a bit for better performance. And we get 100 FPS there. And the 70, 80, 90, it goes up and down. Must admit, for 720p the quality looks still pretty good on the screen. Impressed. But yeah, the GPU can handle 1080p, 1440p, 4K fine in most games. 1080p easily, 1440p decently, and 4K you can at least get 30 FPS. And for the frame generation you can turn it into 60 FPS. And you can see here the Vega GPU is at idle, so it's usually used for frame generation. So you can turn this 70 FPS into 160 easily. We'll be doing that soon. Okay, let's turn on frame. Okay, now for frame generation, but before we do, the previous video I showed you, this is the average FPS, 93. And as you can see, there's the graphic settings. You can only use the DualSense controller. What? No. So this is high settings. Some of the things that are a waste of resources is on normal, like shadows. Ambient occlusion is on a good enough setting, because you won't be able to really tell the difference between these two. So I'm just efficient settings that most gamers will be using. So yeah, and here's the DualSense controller that you'll be getting. It's a black one, get that with it, and it has the adaptive triggers feature and the the haptic feedback as well. Okay, so now I'm going to turn on the lossless scaling. So just open up the app. Okay, here's the app. So you're using LSFG 3.1 adaptive 150 FPS target, because this monitor is 165 Hz. Okay, and we use FSR flow scale at 65%, because you will not be able to really tell the difference. Allow tearing using this API, and then we're using the Vega 64 or Vega 11 GPU to do the frame gen, and we're selecting the 1080p display. And yeah, okay, and then the settings is, this is the hotkey for turning on the frame gen. Control Shift S. Here's the monitor, the keyboard that you'll be getting. Control Shift S. There's the mouse. Okay, so let's turn that on. Press Control S, Control Shift S. That will turn on the frame gen. There we go, it's turned on. Now we have 150 FPS there on the top. So we're turning 81 FPS into 150. Then we captive frame rate, so press the number 7. That caps the frame rate to 50 FPS. Okay, so 50 FPS will be frame gened to 150 FPS. Okay, let's run the benchmark again, see how it performs. As you can see, it is this PC. I'm doing it this way now because when I was recording with OBS, it took a little bit of the performance, so now I'm doing it this way. As you can see, the temperatures are fine. The GPU is at 70-ish% usage. You'll see now. It was at 70. It's going to go up now. But the temperatures are fine. 55 Celsius on the GPU, and then 55 Celsius on the CPU. So it's running pretty cool. As you can see, 150 FPS lock. There's no problem. It's like super stable. Both the CPU, the GPUs, all of them are not at 100%, so your latency will be very, very low. And you can see the power draw is also very efficient. I'm using 80 watts here, 60 watts there. So you're looking at like 100 watts that the system is using. That's like 0.1 unit every hour. So it will use like 1 unit of electricity every single 10 hours. So this computer is super efficient as well. As you can see, base FPS is 50, but you can see here in the top that 150 FPS. So frame gen, so 150 FPS lock, shadow of the Tomb Raider, high settings, 1080p, running really well, looks beautiful. Okay, and this is how it looks like, just to show you. Very pretty. Make sure to do the cable management as well. Okay, so here we're getting a little bit of a FPS drop, but that's just the software being a little bit buggy. But as you can see, it's locked 50 FPS, so, and it's a locked 150 still up top there, so you're still getting really good performance. And as you can see, the CPU is at not 80%, 90. This is the most demanding scene in Shadow of the Tomb Raider. So the least amount that will be dropping is 144 FPS of frame gen. And you can see the Vega 11 is doing the frame generation very easily. It's only at 63% usage. And even though it's a dual GPU setup, it's still running really cool. 58 Celsius on the GPU, 57 Celsius on the CPU. Okay, so this is how it looks like with Wallpaper Engine. Really nice look when it comes to the potential of the PC. It's still running everything, as you can see. Okay, now to show you how the software works. So this is the software, it's DSX. I do include this into the system, and it has a feature where you can emulate between Xbox 360, DualSense 4 and DualShock emulation. Here's the controller. So you have haptic rumble you can use, you have adaptive triggers you can set, and then you can change the colors of the controller as well. So So you can see if I move my finger, you can see it's actually working. All the buttons are working well. This is brand new. Okay, and you can change colors if you want. Let's say, for example, you want the light bar to be red, then you make this red, because red looks cool. Some red. Okay, there you go, nice red, nice and pretty. Okay, and then just show you, where's that controller? Okay, so here's the remote which I use for the RGB. Just take this out. So I'm keeping this in so you make the battery be used as little as possible. So you can change the fan speed if you want louder. It does work. It's just a very silent PC, so it doesn't make a lot of noise. It doesn't even sound like it's on sometimes. It's how quiet it is. So you can make it red, you can make it green, blue. You have all these different cool options when it comes to RGB. Which I like it on red, it's easier on the eyes. Okay, so that's the one software, and then we obviously have the scaling that I'll also be adding to the system. Yeah, it does have a 3-year warranty on all the parts except the power supply and the graphics card, but everything else 3-year warranty. And the GPU's thermal paste was replaced with the Cryonaut Thermal Grizzly thermal paste, which is the second best thermal paste that you can get in South Africa, where it does not damage anything with liquid cooling. So it is very, very high quality thermal paste. And yeah, now for testing Assassin's Creed Odyssey. See how it runs. Here's Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Now to just change the monitor to the right one, so we want to put it on the 1080p screen, so native 1080p. Okay. Go. Okay. So it's still locked at 50 FPS, as you can see. Let me just quickly turn on the feature where I can see the frame generation FPS. Give me one moment. Okay, so here you can see what's inside the PC as well, if you're curious, just to make sure. Ryzen 5 3400G, MSI Pro motherboard, ROG Strix RX 5700 OC. Okay, and then we need the sensors, and we need the settings, share. Okay. Cool. Now we have the frame generation and the latency, which is what we want. It's just loading. And this is a brand new PC, by the way, only a few days old. The only reason why I'm testing it is to make sure everything is high quality and optimized well, so that when you buy the PC you get the best quality possible. Okay, so here you go. It's running the game at high settings. Let me just show you. So graphics, everything's on high. Some things are on low because they are a waste of resources, like fog. You can't see the difference between low and high. Same with volumetric clouds, you won't be able to tell. It's going to be wasting performance. Ambient occlusion, medium, because you won't be able to see the difference. So okay, so we are running at 50 FPS lock, 20 milliseconds latency, GPU is at 60% usage, CPU 80. Super cool. Vega GPU is doing nothing. So if I were to unlock the FPS, we're getting 55, 60 in this demanding area. Which is fine. The main reason why the CPU, I believe, is running so hot is because of the wallpaper engine. But I can turn it off quickly with a single toggle. Now you can see we're getting 64 FPS. So it was definitely the wallpaper engine that was using more of the CPU unnecessarily. Okay, now we can turn on FrameGen. Turn on FrameGen now. So now we're getting 150 FPS. So it's running pretty well. Okay, if you were to use the controller, here's the controller. Latency is pretty good. Instant reaction. The reason why the latency is so low is because you can see the GPU is at 62% utilization, 70-ish, which means the VRAM buffer is empty, and if the VRAM buffer is empty, then the latency is way lower. So even though it says 50 FPS base FPS, you're getting better than 60 FPS latency because the VRAM buffer is empty and the GPU is not being used at 100%. Both the Vega GPU as well as the AMD GPU, well, they're both AMD, but both of them are not being used more than 90% ish. So the latency is only at 7 milliseconds, as you can see down there. So it's running super smooth, and this is like butter. It's an amazing experience. Okay, so that's frame generation. Okay, and in this area, if I turn FrameGen off, we're getting 69 FPS. Okay, so now let's see what it can do at 4K. So going to the 4K display, 4K native, yes. Okay, there it's running at 4K native. Okay, we're getting an average of 42 FPS over there, 43, 4K high settings. As you can see, latency is a little bit more down because now the VRAM buffer is being used at 100%. So you can actually feel the latency now. But you can click over here, go to Revia Tuner. You can cap the FPS to 42, so, and then you can go back into the game and press 7 on the keyboard. Now it's capped at 42 FPS. So now the GPU is being used at 95%. I guess I need to drop a little bit lower because it needs to be lower. 40. Okay. Now the latency feels way better. And it's still an enjoyable, fun experience even at 40 FPS. Okay, but obviously since we are having frame generation, that's not a problem. So what you do is you go here to the lossless scaling program. How do I, okay, go back, and then we make this setting 60 FPS. Just enter. Okay, and then we make sure it selects the 4K display. Okay, is that okay? Cool. And then we turn on lossless scaling. Control Shift S. There we go. So now it should turn that into 60 FPS. Okay, clearly the little GPU is struggling to render at 4K. The frame gen is trying, which is okay. It's 4K is a little hard for a little iGPU to handle, so we're gonna turn that off. But then we just go here to the lossless scaling. Instead of using the Vega little GPU, we use the RX 5700. And then also we go here to the Revia Tuner, cap it to 30 FPS. So, and then we turn on frame gen. There we go. Okay, so now we have 60 FPS. Sorry about that, recording stopped. Now we have 60 FPS with frame generation, 17 milliseconds response time. GPU is only at 50 or 73% usage, 100 watts, running at 65 Celsius. So it's running pretty well. It looks beautiful. And as you can see, the latency is pretty good. And it looks great. It runs great. We're getting 4K 60 FPS on high settings on Assassin's Creed Odyssey, a very demanding game. And it's 4K native. So let me just show you. It's in 4K native. VSync is turned off because it adds latency at high settings. And we're getting 60 FPS with only like less than 70% GPU utilization. And the game runs beautifully and smooth. So it's a really good experience, and it's DualSense, so you can use the haptic feedback. I don't know if I can show it to you, but I can literally feel the triggers. Like when I pull back the bow, I can feel it. I don't know how I can. Maybe I can show you how it works. Let's see. Let's go here. DSX. Adaptive triggers. Let's go weapon. Start position. Start position. Just to show you how it works. But realistically, we use vibration to trigger it so that, yeah. You see there? Can you hear the little bump? So here, when I push it lightly, this is how far I can push it lightly, and then there's a little bump where it feels like a gun that you shoot. So that's that one. Let's see, can I do another feature maybe? Resistance, trigger resistance, vibration, multiple position, GameCube bow, gallop machine. Ooh, let's try this one. Just so you can see how it works. Okay. Hope this is fine. I hope it does what I think it does, like machine gun vibe. Yeah. See? Da 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 da. Like a machine gun. But yeah, there's multiple settings you can do, and it works in every single game. Like Forza feels like you're actually driving a car. It's really nice. I use vibration because this one works really well. Oh, okay. Yeah, I will be tweaking this a little bit. Dynamic rumble sync. That's what I want. Okay. Can you just see? Oh yeah, I can feel the bow. So maybe I can show it to you. So, can I show it to you? I need to use both hands. You hear that? Oh, it's hard, man. Yeah. You can feel the bow when you pull it back. It's hard with one hand though, but yeah, it works. But the point is, like, you're getting 60 FPS at 4K. This thing can handle 4K. And as you can see, the memory on the VRAM of the GPU is fine. Like, we're getting 7.1 gigs VRAM. What? 7.1 VRAM allocation, but only 5.14 gigs are being used in the VRAM. So there's 3 gig VRAM left when it comes to 4K. Okay. So that's pretty good. This guy wants to fight me, but I don't really want to fight him because I only have one hand here. Yeah. Now for the next game. Okay, now for some Cyberpunk. Okay, it's loading. So let's do it first at 4K, just to really push the PC. See what it can do. Okay. Guys, we're running at 4K. And we're not using frame gen, so let's turn on frame gen quickly. Now it's turning 30 FPS into 60. So 4K 60. And when we check the graphic setting, you can see we're using FSR3. Frame gen's turned off. FSR3 wise, but the frame generation there is turned on. So we're running at high settings, which is good. Okay, let's run the benchmark, see how it goes. Oh, it's a beautiful game, Cyberpunk. While we wait, here's the headset that you'll be getting as well. Really nice headset for gaming. Has mute and volume buttons as well on the cups of the headset. Okay, so as you can see, we're getting 60 FPS with frame generation there. The GPU is only being used at 80% spike, and yeah, it's running it very cool. The game looks beautiful. Runs well. That's a big screen. Oh. So, really great experience. No stutters whatsoever. Okay, so now we are using the 1080p display, so 1080p, still high settings. Okay, we kept the frame rate at 60 FPS and we're using frame generation on the main RX 5700 GPU to do the frame generation. And we're getting 150 FPS lock, as well as the latency is pretty good. Using the mouse as well, works pretty well. Looks like Cyberpunk doesn't really like the DSX software, which is fine. I mean, it has supports the DualSense natively, so we can just turn this off, native mode. Okay, reconnecting. Okay, so the reason why that stutter happened was because of the DSX software. The game was confused because it was thinking this is an Xbox 360 controller, but no, it's not an Xbox 360 controller, it's a DualSense. So now as you can see, everything's fine. The latency is good, there's no more stutter. It's not the computer that was the fault, it was Cyberpunk not liking the emulation software. So yeah, we're running at pretty good performance here. The GPU is at 67% usage. Okay, so if I were to turn off frame generation, just turn it off, so it's on. I'll turn it off now. I'm just quickly showing you. So as you can see, it's running well. Frame gen on. Okay, so if I were to turn off frame gen, so Control Shift S, uncap the frame rate. Now you can see will be running without frame gen, so we're getting 80s in the city area. And as you can see, the GPU is only being used at 70%, so there's still headroom for higher resolution. This is high settings, and as you can see, oh, it feels, oh, you can feel the haptic triggers. It's pretty nice. It feels like a real gun. I like that. Maybe if I use a bike or something, then I can... Ooh, it also makes sounds on the controller. That's fun. Oh, it runs well. Get on the bike. Ooh, this feels cool. The first time I'm trying this. Oh, you can literally feel the gears on the controller. You can probably hear it. How the adaptive triggers are doing its thing. Oh, okay. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It runs like really well. Okay, this is very fun. I could literally be playing right now, but not going to. But yeah, I hope this shows that this computer is really good. And yeah, it's high quality. So thanks for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day.